Well, I think the number one most important lesson is the fact that transformational programs can actually be successful. I think there's been too many sort of change programs, both public and private, that we hear about that haven't been successful. So this is absolutely what I would describe as a best case example, and something that people should go and visit Birmingham, and they will learn for themselves. I think there are a few key learning points, though, that we can take away from that. First of all, is that transformation it's an organisational change programme, and that it should be focusing on the redesign of service delivery as opposed to improving service delivery for public organisations. And that's a fundamental change, I think, from traditional implementation of IT solutions. So focusing on transformation is a number one piece, but understanding what transformation actually means to that specific organisation. Secondly, as I think we all understand that having a methodical approach to any programme is an obvious choice, but adapting and utilising the Champs 2 methodology that really has been focused on change management and how do you deliver and drive change throughout an organisation has been key. What the fundamental process underneath that has been the identification of business benefits. I think no longer programmes allowed to identify a business case and then put that business case in the drawer once the budget's been approved. So taking that and actually using the Champs 2 methodology that absolutely drives and understands where that business benefit case is within the process of delivering it and continually monitors it throughout the programme and beyond. Then if we look at the third aspect of it is stakeholders. It's fundamental to any programme of this nature that you get your stakeholders engaged, and that isn't simply about doing a few presentations and some communication newsletters. That really is using a number of different activities to educate the stakeholders and engage them that they buy in to the delivery of that programme. Without that, as you can imagine, the stakeholders are many and varied, both from politically, from the staff that are involved in actually making this programme a success. So fundamental to delivery. And I guess finally is the governance. I would say that managing and governing a programme of this nature is essential, and that governance, the involvement needs to come from all aspects of a public sector organisation, particularly in the sort of planning stages. And number one is that this is around organisational change. So the key factor in there is going to be people, and there will be resistance to change, but also the people are key to actually delivering the success. So focusing on the people aspect in many different ways, and as I say, Birmingham have got lots of examples of how they engage with those people, but making sure that that is something that is well thought through and planned, and that they are involved throughout the process. So the process of identifying and building and redesigning their processes to the actual delivery of them, as they are the ones that are actually responsible at the end of the day for delivering services to the citizens. So key fundamental piece. So I would say that is a key takeaway. The other key takeaway is, other than the sort of political change that happens within any public organisation, it is also about a mindset of you are no longer looking at an annual budget cycle for a programme of this nature. Typically, a transformational change programme is going to be 5 years plus. So again, it's looking at your organisation outside your perhaps the traditional approach for running and managing a public sector organisation. And the third and final point, I think, is think about this as a journey, and think about that however methodical you are with your approach and whatever methodologies that you use and whatever best practices you learn about, that along that journey you will actually need to adapt what you're doing, and you will need to be flexible. So it isn't a question of, well, we've written out our project plan and we've used Champs 2 as a methodology, so it's going to be a success. You need to understand what environmental factors are coming your way, and and as we've seen in the past, the global financial crisis is one that wasn't perhaps planned for, but the response that government organisations now have to put in place is going to have a severe impact. So any transformational programmes that you want to put in needs to sort of think about how do they put in place an ability or a capability to ensure that you can be flexible and it isn't such a rigid approach along your journey.